Hello, everybody. Welcome to another. What?
Nothing.
No,
I love
it's
the way
all
we
right.
just cut that one out. Cutting it out. All right.
Okay. So, welcome to the Simon Whistler Show with Sam Myers. We just recorded the intro to this show, and I was like, my phone started beeping because I forgot to put it on airplane mode again for like the third time, and then Sam started laughing. So we just have to accept that. I'm just gonna admit that I'm an idiot. Sam, are you ready for another show?
I can't wait for another show.
You know what?
I'm feeling enthused about another show.
Me too.
I'm glad.
Me too.
That's why we
that
do
was
this.
the least enthusiastic Me Too ever. That was like the same level of enthusiasm that Harvey Weinstein has for Me Too.
Hashtag Me Too.
I want to tell people up front today, because we never do at the start of these episodes. Are you enjoying this show? Do you enjoy our banter and riposts and our stories and our facts and our
Quips
and whips? No whips.
No whips in this
show. No
show.
whips in this show. That's a different kind of show. If you enjoy this show, I imagine like kids who hear about late night shows, like talk shows or whatever. Late night you could imagine it could mean something else.
Do you remember Dirty Night radio shows?
No.
Okay, so even on like Heart Radio, like sort of like big radio stations in the UK, they would always do like an after 11 radio show, and it would be, I met a man in the middle of we went to a club and we did this, and then something happened, and they would talk about it on the radio. Like it was like nighttime past the watershed kind of talk show.
That got destroyed by internet porn. Wait, does that still exist?
What's internet porn?
Yeah, I don't know. Never heard of it. What I was going to say is, if you're enjoying this show, if you're having a good time listening along with us, why not leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts, or if you're watching this on YouTube, leave us a comment below, a like, a subscribe, all of those little things that get this show in front of more people, and hopefully they'll enjoy it as much as you do, dear listener, dear viewer.
Can you review on an Apple Watch? If you have an Apple Watch,
do they have How do you?
They do have keyboards. Yeah, they've got keyboards. I'm sure you can talk into them as well.
I bet, but Siri kind of sucks.
Yeah, this is the future. Siri is bloody awful.
Okay,
my Siri is the worst.
My Siri also sucks. What is everyone seems to think? Okay, so on one of my channels, Business Place, sometimes I'll ask Siri a question, and I'll be like, "Hey Siri, what's the population of Luxembourg?" And it'll be like, "The weather in Prague is 21 degrees and sunny." It's like, Siri, what the? It looks like I edited it to make it look shit.
Well, I've always had with Siri that I ask it a question, a solid question that should have a solid answer, and by the time it comes back, it says, "Here's something I found on the web."
Yeah,
and you just go, "That's not what I wanted. Just give me the answer." Come on, Siri.
Siri, what is 2 + 2? Here's what I found on the web for what is 2 + 2.
And then
you, Siri.
You touch it and it needs the bloody code, so it makes no sense to have a Siri.
I don't.
Apple, sort your Siri out.
You know what's really good? Alexa.
Alexa's great.
Alexa's competent.
Do you know why?
Why?
Oh no, hang on, I got that mixed up. I was gonna say because Google, like if your assistant Google uses Google. Alexa uses Google, used to use Bing.
Yes. And Google ended up paying like, it was $2 billion or something to get iPhone and Siri back on $2 billion a year, something like that, back on board with Siri.
Well, of course, because Siri is still majority run using Safari.
But Safari is a search engine.
It's not a search engine, sorry, no, my mistake. It was something
I
before.
think the default search in Safari is Google.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know, though.
I should know that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Speaking of.
We are... I don't know. You don't know. Let's talk about something we do know.
What do we know?
Me, because I read about it. You, because... Have we talked about your day job on this show before?
Likely. We've spoken about a lot of stuff. So I'm beginning to get lost of what we have spoken about.
That's true. But... I mean, and also because we're friends in real life, that we've also had conversations outside of the podcast and been like, so I know things about you that...
Are we letting people behind the curtain?
Well, only because...
We're friends.
The thing I want to talk about today is the most targeted ad ever. If you just bring up that link, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like a targeted online ad. I think it was on Facebook or whatever. But you do this in your day job. You're an online marketer.
Yeah, I'm a digital marketer, yeah. So I do Google and things.
Do you do Facebook ads?
Facebook and YouTube and all that sort of stuff.
Cool.
I'm the one that riddles your visitors with oh
god, yeah,
4 ads a time they watch one of your
videos. That's true.
That's me.
Do you do YouTube ads?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. I didn't know, like video ads or just the inlays. Oh, that's cool.
Video ads and the inlays go hand in hand. You do one, you do the other. So
I don't even know that.
Yeah.
All I know is it's all done automatically for me, and it's wonderful. Wow, that's cool. I didn't realize you were doing YouTube ads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How much do you pay for those?
Depends. It's similar to how, like...
it depends who you're targeting.
Exactly. It depends where you're targeting.
Sure.
If it's something like, for instance, personal finance is really expensive.
Dude,
whereas
the guys doing personal finance on YouTube
make a fortune because they make a fortune because the marketers on the other side pay a fortune.
Yeah. But their CPMs. So say I'll make a CPM of like...
For the non-marketer, that is the cost per mil.
Sorry, yes,
the cost
good
per
point.
1,000 visitors.
Yeah, so if someone watches
Viewers.
if someone views a video 1,000 times, I'll make maybe $3-4.
Mm-hmm.
Personal finance guys make 15.
What?
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
So even with like a couple of 100,000 subscribers, those guys are making bank. Dude, I'm like, I want to start a personal finance channel just because I'm a greedy bastard.
Makes sense.
I don't know, man. There's so much of it's American focused though, and it's like, oh, you got to do this with your real estate, or get this credit card, or put this on your taxes. And I'm like, well, I can't get American credit cards. The tax system's obviously completely different, and so's real estate. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I've always found that with these sorts of videos that like things like Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and all that, they're amazing to watch, but it only really works for an American audience in that way. Like it doesn't translate to other countries who just don't have that same kind of level of enthusiasm.
Well, it's not just enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is fine, but the legal system and stuff is, and all the way the systems works, it's just really different.
True.
And I don't know, whatever it is, like, I feel like Gary Vee, I don't know Grant Cardone, but like, I mean, I know of him, but I think he's a bit of a dick.
He is, but he's a very rich dick.
That's true. But that's kind of a bit more internationally relevant because it's generally more about business, at least Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah, sort of. I don't know. I don't really follow this stuff super heavily. Anyway, back to ads. This guy, he does the most... And you're going to have to jump in and tell me where I'm going wrong because I don't know anything about this. But essentially, he plays an epic prank. So he has a roommate this is a great read on... what's the website? ghostinfluence.com.
Yeah.
So this guy gets a roommate and they, live together or whatever. And he's a digital marketer and his friend, his roommate, is a professional sword swallower, which is the thing. Maybe he does it. He's professional at it, but I think he has a job as well and whatever.
That's different. So
he gets pranked and he wants to get him back. So he's a professional sword swallower, but funnily enough, he can't swallow pills. Like he has a real trouble, like taking an ibuprofen or something, and taking any sort of drugs. So this guy, the digital marketer, creates an ultra-targeted Facebook ad for him, which basically, if you scroll down, apparently there's some images. I made some notes. Yeah. Oh, okay. So he goes into like the Facebook thing. Scroll down. I think there's like an actual picture of the ad. Yeah. So it says trouble swallowing pills. And then the sub thing says, does it seem ironic that swallowing swords is easy and then small pills make you gag? And so this guy starts freaking out being like, whoa, Facebook got amazing at like advertising to me. And he talks to his roommate like through messages being like, dude, I just saw this advert. This is so crazy. And basically the guy had like, because I think on Facebook, you can't individually target someone.
No.
But he basically like just worked out. He was like, okay, so I want people in this region, of this age group, of this. And then, the big trick was apparently, tell me if this is true or not, or how it works. You'll probably know. You upload a database of people's email addresses, right?
Yep.
You put it in the system, and then it has to be like quite large. But then he managed to introduce like rules that whittled down this database with his roommate's, details in to like it being
so that only one person can be that person.
Target audience size of 1.
Oh.
And then he put this advert out to him. And I was like, that is absolutely genius. And he did it for like weeks. And he really thought he was being spied on. And then he got, yeah. And then zoom right in on that one.
I've just jumped forward in
Yeah. So it says, we heard you swallow. So you like swallowing things? You're in luck because we have an amazing deal for you, and it's blurred out, but it's obviously a picture of a dildo. So yeah, these ads got super specific. The guy gets absolutely freaked out, and eventually it just gets so silly and extreme. Like, are you a strong top? ? If you're the kind of coffee drinking guy who has a black bandana in his pocket, watch me. And it's like, so it's just so specific, and eventually he figures it out.
This is a beautiful troll. I think this is fantastic, actually.
Dude,
like,
you got to use your powers to do this on like
someone,
not on me, but like on someone. Well, we were talking last episode. You were looking for pranks and stuff.
Yeah,
dude, use your skills.
Use
something like this. There's got to be something out there like that is like this.
What I love is that he's paying money for this. Like, this is what's that? What do you love?
It ends up really cheap, but just scroll up. I must have missed this one. I think this must have been the last one, and it says, "Hey." His name, which is blanked out. Ever feel like your roommate is creating Facebook ads targeted to a niche of just you? So I think that's how he gave it away in the end.
Nice. I think that's great, actually. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
No, yeah. It is crazy how, like, usually with Google Ads, you're trying to target like, with Facebook, you're trying to kind of target like a group of people, but I'd never thought of using it as this, like targeting
single
one
person.
That's really unique.
A sword swallow who can't swallow pills.
God.
Good, right?
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really good.
Yeah. Do you want to do one?
I can do one.
Cool.
Yeah. I want to talk about... Wait, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the Sami people of northern Finland.
Ah, the Samis.
The Samis.
The Samis. No idea.
They use a measure of distance called the poronkusema.
Okay.
I believe I'm saying that right there. Could be poronkusema. Depends where the stress is. This is the distance a reindeer can walk before it needs to urinate.
Okay.
What have you got to say about that?
What's wrong with metric?
So basically, a reindeer.
Jesus, I mean, what's wrong with what's the American system called? Like traditional
Imperial.
This is not. I think the Americans don't call it imperial.
They just call it measurement.
They just exactly. They just call it.
This is numbers.
There's another system.
Yeah. So basically, like grown reindeers can't walk very far without having to take a whiz, and it's roughly 6 miles,
dude.
So
I don't think I could walk 6 miles without needing to take a whiz. It's pretty far.
That is quite far. Actually. What's that? It's about an hour and a half walking. No, about an hour and a bit.
Yeah, okay.
What's average walking speed?
I don't know miles anymore. I'm a terrible Brit, dude. Like, I'm trying to put it in kilometers. That's 10 kilometers. So I'd say that's
I think
2 hours.
Average walking speed is about 3.5 miles an hour. So
yeah, I'd say 2 hours.
2 hours.
It depends if I'd drunk something before, but 2 hours is a long time to go without a piss.
Well, yeah. So in
Am I getting old?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a super old man thing to say.
That's a long time. It depends how much tea you drink.
A weak bladder.
We drink a lot of tea.
My prostate's giving me trouble.
In Finnish, you say that. I've started getting the wake up in the middle of the night, need to go pee things.
I'll just drink less.
Very good. Could be that. I do drink tea at night, so I shouldn't do that. But
drink alcohol. Dehydration.
In Finnish, the distance is known as poronkusema or reindeer's piss. That's how it directly translates.
Wait, so this must be some old measurements.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Do they still use it today?
It was an old-fashioned description of distances in the countryside. Yes, I believe it's not like a technical measurement because it's rough, but they'd say, it's a poronkusema away, or
okay, so it's like
it's like saying it's over there yonder, it's 3 blocks or something like that.
All right,
is my understanding
like a block
of the usage.
Could be generic.
Exactly. Well, if you'll know if you live down in Central and South America, but when they say down there, they use cuadras, so they say like dos cuadras no más, and that means it could be 2 blocks. Or it could be
really,
15,
really far,
like 25 minutes.
Good luck, adventurer.
And stumbling upon this word, I found just a few other strange or funny foreign words that I really enjoyed.
I just got a question for you on measurements first.
Okay.
Imperial measurements, right? I understand like miles and inches and stuff like that. Do you know all the other ones like furlongs and shit?
I know that.
You do know furlong?
I know.
So I found out the other day acre is a metric measurement. I thought for the longest time that must have been imperial because it sounds imperial.
Is it?
But acre, because I'm assuming it's metric because they use it here.
Okay.
In Czech.
I honestly don't know about that. But I know that there's fathoms are downwards.
Yeah, but
fathoms
I have no idea about any of this stuff.
Underwater fathoms. Yeah, no, do you know what's really weird? I think we might have touched on this before, but in the UK, we have a really mixed system.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if we're talking in actual, like, quantifying, like, distance or something, I would say that is roughly 10 centimeters or 10 meters from that. However, we do miles an hour.
Yeah.
And
miles for distance.
And things like that. Whereas if I'm talking about the size of this laptop, I wouldn't say it's 15 inches. I would say it's about 30 centimeters by 15. And then we do feet and inches for height.
Stone for weight. Which is also weird because Americans don't use stones. Did you know that?
What do they use?
Pounds. But they say like 150 pounds or whatever. Not like
anyone knows
stone.
what that is.
Well, they don't know. They're like, stone? What is that? And I'm like, that's like a pound compared to an ounce.
Yeah.
And a stone to a pound. But
30,
they don't know.
13 pounds to an ounce? 13 pounds to a stone?
I think it's 13, yeah.
Yeah.
Weird though, right? That they don't use that.
But then I would still use metric for like measuring that. How much does that weigh? That's about a kilogram.
Well, I would say my height is 5'11", but I weigh 70 kilos.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
But I think that's
because I don't know what I weigh in stone anymore.
No, me neither. I'm about 13-ish.
Okay.
Something like that.
I don't know, it's been a long time.
It has been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I've ever changed in weight. I think I've been 70 kilos.
It's been the same.
Yeah, it's like 10 and a half stone. So actually, I'm thinking about it. Since I became adult, like my full size, I haven't changed in weight.
Oh, you not?
No.
I got very fat for a little bit.
Oh, you did?
I wasn't really fat. No, I
got morbidly obese. This was in your past life, as we talked about last episode.
I moved to the Czech Republic, and
different diet. Yeah.
Lovely grandma gave me lots of lard and beer. And it was amazing, but it wasn't great for my figure. And there's pictures of me when I went away traveling, and I was just like really not very attractive, and I got a really bad haircut, and it was just really not good.
Oh no!
And my poor girlfriend at the time, and it was now my wife. She had to go on holiday with me looking this awful, and it took a good 3 months before everything sort of the hair grew out and I lost all the weight and everything.
Wait, why'd you cut the hair?
I got a haircut. It was just a really bad haircut, and it just didn't suit me. It was all just wrong, and it made my face look all chubby, and it could have been the beer as well, but it was not good. And it was the worst looking period of my life. But hey, we don't talk about that period. That's been confined to the darkness of the past.
Sorry, did you have something?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say there's like the 3 other words which I came across which I really like. One is the Seigneur Terrasse in French.
Yeah.
Which is...
this means like... Doesn't Seigneur mean like man?
Yeah,
and terrace would be the terrace.
Exactly.
Is it a man terrace?
It's a man of the terrace.
Oh.
So
like a man terrace, I would imagine like for whiskey and cigars after dinner.
No, it's not as like cool as that. It's more the word.
I was thinking about renaming my balcony the Signor Terrace.
You can do that if you want. I mean, you work with computers, so you can do this. It's basically the term for the ubiquitous global traveler who works off of his computer and sits in a cafe without ordering anything.
And he sits digital nomad.
Digital nomad. That's what I wanted to say. So it's the digital nomads that work from a coffee shop and buy one coffee for 7 hours of work in the coffee.
Yeah, these people think they're very cool.
Oh, do you know, I went to a place the other day. It was completely packed. Like there was a queue out the door of people waiting, and they had 2 digital nomads sat there taking up a table of 4 people. And they had all their bags out and everything, and they would not move. And I was like, waitress, get these people out. And
you did?
No, I didn't.
You should have done.
I should have done.
You know who would have done that? The guy we talked about in our last episode, Robert Pattinson. He'd be like, excuse me, leave. Because that's how few shits Robert Pattinson gives.
Yeah. I mean, okay, right. Another word we've got. Wait,
so the man terrace, is a digital nomad.
No, so the Seigneur Terrasse is the person. Yeah, it's the digital nomad who sits there and doesn't order anything.
He's the dude who doesn't leave the cafe.
Exactly, doesn't leave the cafe. So he's a Seigneur of the terrace. If they've got a terrace, he sits there on his computer all day and just sits in there.
Okay, cool.
So
I like that.
Yeah, and then we've got the
My word for that is a dickhead.
Itzuapok, which is the feeling, and this is a really nice one because we don't have a word for this at all. And it's the feeling of when you know someone's coming and you keep looking out your window to see if they're there.
Oh,
so it's the Inuit word for it. It's Itzuapok.
It's my life with delivery men.
Exactly. Like, it's when you know someone's coming and you're nervous about it, so you keep looking out the window, you keep checking. Not nervous, but you're sort of excited about that.
For DVD. Get so nervous.
GLS.
What's he gonna drop off? Also, why do all delivery companies have the? It's like, I don't know. In Europe, at least, it's like DPD, GLS, PPL. Come on, guys. Come up with
the good name.
Yeah, I can't remember which are the good ones and which are the bad ones because they all sound this. They're all three. It's like American crime fighting agencies: NSA, CIA, FBI.
I suppose all the food deliveries have the good names. They Deliveroo and
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. Well, yeah, that's all right.
Dame Yidlo here.
Dame Yidlo. Let's eat food. Yeah. No, it's. I mean, I agree. Let's take a stand. And the final one. All right, this is the best one. This is the best one, and it has won the Guinness World Record for the most succinct word. Succinct word. Wait,
it's really long though.
It is. Mami hlapenatape. And this is yaghan from the Tierra del Fuego down in Argentina, like down in South America. And what it means, all right, I'm going to read it specifically. So it refers to the wordless, meaningful look shared by two people who want to initiate something, but neither are reluctant to do so. And it can also refer to the unspoken but private moment shared by two people when each person knows the other understands and is in agreement with what is being expressed. So it's like
it's quite like a secret nod. Like
yes,
you know what I'm talking about.
I think it's that.
Yeah.
And it's also say for instance two people are married and like two couples are married and there's maybe a tension between like the man and the woman.
Yeah.
And they know that there's a tension, but they can't do anything about it.
This is entirely terrible pod, but this is my like, it's like, you know, that very slightly
eyebrows,
not the eyebrows, but the widening of the eyes.
But
like, I'd look at my wife and be like, you know.
No. But you see, this is what I mean. It's not about you and your wife. It's about you. Say there's two couples.
Yeah.
And say you and the other person's wife have like a mutual understanding where you go like, maybe we're attracted or we feel something together, but we know we shouldn't do it.
Oh wait, that's what this word means.
Yeah, so it's got like sort of three main meanings. One is,
oh my god.
Well, this is it. It's the most succinct word in the world by Guinness
the
World
least
Record.
succinct explanation.
I'm literally reading the definition. This is the dictionary definition.
I know. It's just I like the irony.
There's either a nodding understanding that we understand what's going on. There's the romantic feeling where there's a moment of tension, but both neither person is ready to say something about it, or there's not being willing to do something about it as well, like not being willing to act on the feeling of tension that you're feeling with someone. Okay, which is beautiful. I love this word.
Isn't the English word for that sexual tension?
No.
This is okay. Yeah, I know. I can see it's like it's deeper than that. All right.
There you go.
I like it. You know what's weird?
What's weird?
Like, for next episode, I already had some notes together, and I had, like, the most useful words that we could use in English, which is sort of like this. I could skip ahead and do that today if you like.
Let's do it. I like languagey things.
Okay, I got to scroll ahead. Dude, there's so much good stuff coming up. Subscribe to this show. Dude, was Napoleon short? That's a good one. Do we need to turn off our phones on planes? A highway through a skyscraper? Dude, why would you not subscribe to this show? But let's do what we're talking about.
Is it this one, the best
untranslatable words? You see, I made 2 lines of notes for this one because I thought we could just go through it and enjoy. And I just have the strong feeling. When I went through this, my strongest reaction was like, oh yeah, this is like... and then you don't have a word for it.
No.
And it's like, why is there not a word for that?
And I see that one that I mentioned is number 2 here.
Hey!
It's Wapok. There you go.
The feeling of anticipation. Mm-hmm. Can you just zoom in a little bit? Because I haven't learned any of these. I scroll down because we did that one. So, komorebi, for Japanese, is a Japanese word that refers to the sunlight that filters through the leaves of trees. Mm-hmm. This word is made up of blah, 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 no one cares. How great is that?
No, beautiful.
Spanish. Sobremesa. You speak Spanish.
Sobremesa.
Do you know this word?
I didn't know this word until I just read it.
This is so great. Dude, The Spanish word that refers to the time spent after lunch or dinner socializing with the people you shared the meal with.
Digesting.
Yeah, but that's the food. But I'm like, exactly. Every time you read it, you're like, oh no, we just call that like after dinner chat.
Yeah.
How great is there a word for this? Should we do another one? Portuguese? Saudade, maybe?
Saudade.
Saudade. Refers to the feeling of longing for something or someone that you love, which is lost. Oh. It's the feeling of emptiness. Yeah, I would say that's melancholy.
Melancholy.
But it's obviously more than that. The feeling of emptiness, melancholy, or nostalgia is often considered characteristic of the Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese temperaments, although something. That's cool though, right? I'd say that's quite close to melancholy though.
Oh, here's my one. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. No, it is quite close. Well, this is the thing. All of them are quite close to English words, but they often have like just a meaning that just can't
After dinner
be
chat,
translated.
though?
Yeah.
But there's no word for that. And it needs one. It's sombra cresa or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Sombra.
Sobremesa.
Something about sombreros.
Like, I find this quite a lot. Obviously, I know we always talk about it. Like, we live in the Czech Republic, and this happens quite a lot with Czech as well, that I will go to translate what's been said.
Yeah.
And you have to change how you say it because it just doesn't actually translate. You can't translate the word.
From Czech to English.
From Czech to English or English to Czech.
Yeah. But I like sometimes you discover words in a new language and you're like, oh yeah, we didn't have a word for that. We just have to describe it every time.
I tell you what I like doing. When I learn languages, I begin to understand what name places are mean.
Oh yeah, dude.
Which is really interesting. So like, I don't know, it might mean the bridge that goes over to here goes over to the church or something, and it just sounds like a foreign word when you hear it, and then suddenly you begin to understand and you go, oh, that's like, what it meant.
There's a station here, like at the end of the red line, called Cherney Most. Blackbridge. Cherney Most, fine. Blackbridge. Sounds cool. There's a TV show called Blackbridge.
There you go. Yeah. There's Moostek, which is like one of the main stations here. Do you know what that one means?
No.
Little Bridge.
Oh, of course it does. Yeah, it's like a most and a little ek, like because it makes it cute.
Makes it small. Yeah. Exactly, diminutive.
Huh.
There you go. Who knew?
I never even put that together.
Me neither. It took me 2 years of living here to figure that out. I was like, oh god,
Mustang, yay. Yeah, and then you have ones that like. There's ones that just don't translate, and I'll ask my wife, who is Czech, like, what does that mean? She says, it doesn't mean anything. And I'm like, okay,
all right,
whatever. Because it's like you could say for English, like someone could ask you, what does Piccadilly mean? Nothing. It means nothing.
Well,
like there's dick in there.
Pick a dicky. There's not a dick in there.
Piccadilly.
Oh,
there's totally not.
Piccadilly.
Piccadilly. You could pick a dill, which is a plant.
I think
and illy makes it silly, so you could picking a silly piece of dill.
Wow, that descended quickly.
Well, I mean,
I think English people like to do like funny names about things. So like the Knickerbocker Glory, for example.
Yeah, dude. Do you know the famous street name, which I won't say for the? Well, I can't say because it's a street name. Grope Cunt Lane. It was yeah. There were many Grope Cunt Lanes throughout English towns, and I think it's where the prostitutes hung out. Oh. Dude, look up Grope Cunt Lane.
Can I do that?
I think it's okay because it's one word. I'm and it's like it's
really?
on Wikipedia. Yeah, dude, look up Grope Cunt Lane. See?
Oh my god. I feel we're gonna have to bleep.
There's one in City of Westminster, Grope Cunt Lane.
We're gonna have to bleep and blur this.
No, it's okay because it's.
I like this one, Bell End.
Wait, I want to know about Grope Cunt Lane though. So,
okay, sorry.
Go back to the Wikipedia article on it.
All right.
Just go to because I think it was where the ladies of the night are.
Yes. All right. So believed to be a reference to the prostitution center on those areas. It was normal practice for a medieval street name to reflect the street's function or the economic activity taking place within it.
And I love that there's a part of this Wikipedia entry that is called "Changing Sensibilities." Oh, Sam, where were we?
What were we talking about? No idea.
Yeah, we moved so far off the notes that my tablet went to sleep.
Oh my goodness. No, because we jumped forward to best untranslatable words.
Oh, I jumped all the way back, and I just remembered the Robert Pattinson's Casual Lies, which is just my favorite thing ever. Do you want to learn? Do you want to find out about the Whizzernator?
Yes.
Okay. So
P machine.
It's a pee machine. Open up the website. It's so great. I mean, maybe we'll have to blur this one as well. The guy blurred the picture of the dildo in that post earlier. So this is a device that simulates a man peeing. So essentially, it's a fake penis that pees out fake urine. What do you think this is for?
Is it a shiwi?
No, dude. A shiwi's like the opposite. No,
because a shiwi is like a funnel.
Well, it'd be weird if it was the opposite. It puts the pee back inside.
No, because a shiwi's like a funnel. So is it like to allow women to pee like men?
No. Oh, that would be your first guess?
Yeah.
No, it's like for drugs.
Festivals and things.
Well, technically, it's not for drugs. This Whizzernator Touch sells it as a wet sex simulator.
Oy.
So the idea is that you can live out all of your peeing on people fantasy.
With water?
No. They've got like urine simulation fluid. But I think the reality is everybody knows that this is for faking drug tests.
Okay. Yeah.
It was an episode of Entourage, I think, where the main character has to do a drugs test, and he's definitely been doing loads of cocaine. So he gets one of these devices, and he like fakes the drug test or whatever, and I think it works.
It's not cheap, is it?
How much is it?
$129.
Should we order one?
Should we get one?
No, don't order one. Well,
choose your color.
Tell you what, if people really want to see a Whizzinator in action, we can order one of these.
Oh, we've got all different
Fuck
colours.
around with it.
Look at that.
See, and okay, so you see that golden shower stuff? It's all kind of sexually labeled, and I'll get to why in a second.
Okay.
But that stuff is like synthetic urine, so it has the right pH, it smells like it froths like it.
Okay.
So like someone who is administering your drug test thinks that it is actually pee. Yeah, here it is. ALS synthetic urine contains ingredients found in natural urine like uric acid and creatine. It is balanced for specific gravity, pH, and has foam and scent.
What?
And I'm like, that's really specific if this is just for someone's sexual fantasy. Like, I don't think the people who pee on each other are super concerned about the pH level. But I think the drug test people are.
Well, it does say here, I just found a disclaimer, do not drink. This product is not intended for drug tests or other illegal use.
Yes. So it used to be made by someone else, and it was called the Whizzinator as well. This is called the Whizzinator Touch. It used to be made for someone else. They got busted by the government because making these devices is illegal.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Obviously, if it's a sexual fetish thing, that's definitely
Fine.
not. That's
Make
completely
whatever
fine.
you want.
But if you're selling it to bypass drug tests, that's illegal. Those dudes went to prison.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I have it written down in my notes, but I'm pretty sure, like 80% sure, they ended up getting busted. Their company got shut down and they went to jail. So now this company takes the same idea, takes their product and essentially sells it as a sexual device. You want a fun extra fact?
Yes.
Someone got in trouble because they were going for a drugs test and they needed to heat up the urine ahead of their drugs test. So they popped into like a 7-Eleven or just a convenience store, heated it up in the microwave, and they got busted while doing this. Like, someone came along and was like, what are you doing? Police came and they said the convenience store, you got to shut down because you had human body fluids in the microwave, and they had to replace the microwave because apparently this is like, it's just an interesting look at health and safety law, which is legitimate, I would say, but it's interesting that they have a specific law for if human body fluids enter a microwave on your premises, you have to replace the microwave.
Well, at least it was just the microwave.
Yeah.
I mean, that smell must seep into everything.
That's true. It's not going to be nice.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, no, it's fake urine. And people are like, oh, sure it is, mate. Yeah. What was I going to say? No, that's it. That's kind of it.
I like that you can buy in different colours. There's white, black, brown, Latino, tan, white. There you go.
What colour would you go for?
I think I've got a Latin soul.
I want red.
You want red?
Just red.
Dog.
No, and also when you're doing like the pee test, I've done pee tests many times, but no one looks at me while I'm,
they give it to you to go in a room.
Yeah, you go in a little bathroom and pee it out. Did I tell you I did those drug tests? I think I've spoken about this before, where you take experimental drugs for money.
I don't think you ever spoke about it on the air before.
Yeah. So, like, when I was a student, you can go and you spend like a week in the hospital. They give you some experimental drugs and they give you a load of money for doing it. At least a load of money for student Simon back in the day. like several £1,000s usually for doing something like this, like for a couple of weeks in the hospital. I met a guy once because you have to go and there's like screenings. They make sure you're healthy. They give you a medical. They make sure you're not on drugs. I'm sitting in the waiting room at like the hospital where they do these, like to go through the screening procedure. And the guy next to me goes like, dude, man, I got really drunk on Saturday. I hope the alcohol's out of my system and I'm not sure. But I think I did coke. And I'm like, dude, why are you telling me this? And also, why did you come to the drug trial place? Because if you get busted, you don't just get on the trial, they will blacklist you.
Okay.
So it's like, because you've said, like, I'm not on drugs.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, no, I'm pretty sure I did coke. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Maybe leave.
Yeah, maybe leave. He didn't leave. He took the drug. I have no idea what happened to him. Like, I didn't see him on the trial. But also, I think cocaine gets out of your system after a couple of days. So it'd been a few days.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, no, isn't it? They say, at least in your hair, I think it's 7 days it takes.
No, hair, it'll stay either permanently until you cut it off, but they don't test your hair. They're testing your pee. Okay. And maybe your blood as well. But in the blood, it's even quicker to leave. Yeah. But pot's the big risk. Because, I don't know, like, I'd smoke pot occasionally. But then it would be like, okay, if I'm thinking about doing a drug trial, no, you got to stop. Like, you got to stop like 3 months ahead.
Yeah.
And also, like, you can drink more water, and also, like, there's all sorts of discussions and tricks about this.
And during these trials, did you gain any powers or superpowers or anything like that? Did you get ill?
No, nothing interesting. It was really boring.
I mean, would you, like, it's one of those things. I never did this because I was a bit worried about, like, dying or having like a terrible reaction or something.
I went to the hospital where there was that famous reaction where people got super messed up by some drug they were trying.
Okay.
I did one at that hospital years later. Yeah.
Nice. And were they a bit more strict about it?
They're all super strict about it. Like all of them are. And they still, kill people occasionally. But it's really rare. It's really unlikely. I'm mostly fine. I used to have hair. No, just kidding. No, it's fine. I think it's mostly fine. Everyone seems okay. And also, if they do ruin you, then you get loads of money, so that's great. But you don't have.
If your arm falls off.
Yeah. And then I had something about poppy seeds can make you fail a drug test, but I feel like that's the most done thing on YouTube.
That happened to my dad. Worked at IBM.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that? My dad worked at bleep mystery business, and
this is recorded live, right?
we
don't edit this.
They served poppy seed buns, and they then took a random drug test, and a guy failed because of the poppy, and he won like millions.
Wow!
Because they sacked him, and he took them to court for.
This was in the UK?
Yeah, exactly. He took them to court for firing him for scandal, for all sorts of things. Wrongful dismissal.
Sure.
And he won like millions.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
And it was their fault. Like, completely their fault. They served buns.
Well, also, even if they hadn't served buns, false positive on a drug test.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. There was some story about some guy getting dismissed from the police because of this. And then it turned out like that he was just eating loads of poppy seeds. Dude, do you want to do one?
I can do one. Humans are on the top of the food chain, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. No, they're not.
What?
They're absolutely not.
Dude, I haven't been eaten by any animals. But you know what I have done?
What have you done?
Eaten a shitload of animals.
So,
I've eaten a goddamn shark.
Have you?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I mean, not the whole thing. It's really big.
Evil bastard.
But, dude, it's a shark.
I like sharks.
Okay. I ate alligator as well. I'm just trying to think of predators I've eaten.
Yeah, I've had alligator jerky.
Ooh, that sounds kind of good. I like jerky.
No, very nice actually. So basically, they use something called trophic. What is it? Trophic levels. Sorry. Hang on. Yeah,
wait, humans food chain.
So humans food chain. So
like, I'm lost after a minute. Sorry.
Ecologists rank species by their diets using a metric called trophic level.
Yeah.
So plants which produce their own food are given a rank of 1. Herbivores which only eat plants are ranked 2. And the fiercest of meat-loving predators, such as killer whales, rank at 5.5.
Okay.
Where do you reckon humans come in?
I don't know what a trophic level is.
So it's the amount of meat that you eat, like of living animal that you eat. So plants which produce their own food are 1.
Okay, cool.
And then killer whale, which eats a whole ton of krill, is 5.5. So where do you think we...
Why does the scale end at 5.5? That's weird.
I'm not sure if
I'm going to
ends
say
there, but it's...
4.
You'd be wrong.
Higher or lower?
Lower, much lower.
2?
So we're about 2.5 on average. So it depends, obviously.
It's all those vegans screwing it up for the rest of us.
Here's a...
I'm a 5.3. Personally.
Just eat steak with a side of steak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
your powder that you like.
It's why I'm so manly.
All right. So this is quite interesting. This is this map of the world with the trophic level based on where the people are.
Yeah.
So for obvious reasons, places like Africa and China
going to be lower because
are
it's
very
expensive.
low. It's expensive. Meat's expensive, but they typically eat grain, they eat rice, they eat those sorts of things. Like in China, a lot of rice. Then, actually, slightly surprisingly, Mongolia.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. That's dark purple.
Very dark purple. Much darker than the US, for example.
What are they eating in Mongolia?
Horse.
No.
I believe they eat a lot of horse.
I've eaten horse. I like horse. It's just...
No.
So, well, no, I mean, like, only because you think of, like, the Mongol hordes and, like, Genghis Khan riding on horses and their passion for horses, and then they ate them all.
I'm pretty sure they eat a lot of horse in Mongolia. I'm just trying to see if...
Dude, I totally believe you.
I've said that, and I'm pretty sure. It might be because I kind of linked them with horses.
No, it could be. That could be.
But like, for example, Finland eats a lot of meat. They eat a lot of fish, a lot of horse, a lot of these sort of
they eat horse.
meat. Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a lot of the in Iceland, for example, eat pony. And
I kind of feel like those northern countries, they need more fat and meats, and I'm sure that's not true.
Exactly.
But
and so
maybe historically they did. So their cuisine is based around fatty foods.
Exactly. And in these places where they eat a lot of meat, typically veggies are like an extra. They're not part of the meal. Whereas in a lot of the lower trophic level areas, they eat more veg, and meat is a special
thing.
Dude,
that's super interesting. Thinking about it now, like Sri Lanka and India countries, and Asia countries I've been to, the meat is almost, it's like more equally weighted, rather than like, I think, okay, what am I having for dinner? What is the meat? What is the vegetable? Or like, what is the meat and what is the side? Whereas it's not 2 equal portions.
Exactly. Do you do the same as me, where you go, right, I've got a meat, 2 veg, and potatoes or something like that. So you've got like a starch, a veg, and a...
So I guess maybe less complicated. I'll just do like a meat and a side, like a rice or a beans, and then, or potatoes, and then like salad or vegetable.
That's exactly what I just described.
Well, no, because you said 2 sides.
No, so I'll do like meat, potatoes, or rice, or some kind of starch, and then some veg, like so broccoli.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Peas or something.
Okay, yeah, no, we're doing exactly the same thing. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
Because I know, for example, my wife, she'll cook something and she will just completely cut out the veg part.
Well, yeah, she's Czech.
She's Czech, yeah.
Well, what do you think?
So I'll be like, oh, it's
their
missing.
trophic levels are like 9.
Well, yes.
Can you zoom in on Europe? Europe's so small in that map.
I'm trying to...
What? Czech is less than Germany and the UK?
Less than the UK?
That's impossible. I've never seen a country that eats so much meat.
Yeah, they eat a lot of meat here. Like I regularly
discount
see
this.
people
This is a lie.
3 times a day eat meat here. I think a lot of people. That's like they'll have.
Dude, yeah. They will have like hams for breakfast.
Yep.
Big lunch, and then there'll be hams for dinner.
Exactly. I just thought this was really interesting because we typically think of humans being at the top of the food chain, and it just goes to show we're actually
I don't think that's the food chain, though.
We're nowhere near the top of the food chain. Well, but it is in terms of how much food is actually eaten.
No, food chain is like about predation.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
No.
Dude, I think the food chain is like...
I've just read.
Hang on.
Because it's the food chain is based on trophic levels. It's not based... The food chain is not based on who eats what.
I think if we ask the audience... I think if I said, what's the food chain? Is it about the amount of meat you eat, or is it about your place in the predatory hierarchy? I think people would say it's about your place in the predatory hierarchy.
Ecologists, we call you forward.
No, I'm not asking for ecologists. I'm asking for the man on the street, the everyman, the man like me.
But that's kind of the point, is the actual definition.
I get your point.
The definition, the layman's definition.
No, the technical definition is different. The layman would say we're top of the food chain, like a lion is.
But is the lion top of the food chain if we're top of the food chain?
No, we're top of the food chain, but like the lion is... Oh, sorry, the lion is up there, or it's like the top of its food chain. We just don't eat lion, but we could.
True. Fun fact, do you notice that you almost never eat the organs of meat-eating animals?
We don't really eat meat-eating animals at all.
Not true. Like
Tell me
birds and things like that. Yeah, we do.
We eat chicken.
Crocodile. Chicken will eat meat.
Yeah, okay, but let's talk about regular. Let's talk about regular meats that we eat.
Monkey, like I don't eat it, but people do eat monkey.
Monkeys don't eat meat.
They're
I guess they would eat everything. Yeah,
you know, so they're.
I don't think we eat eating animals generally.
Not generally, but because they're harder to get. There's less of them.
No, I think it's because it's much more expensive. Because the amount of energy, like the reason dog is an expensive meat is because dogs eat meat. So it's like a cow. I don't know the exact figures, but a cow eats grass, right? And let's say you've got a ton of grass, and in that ton of grass, there's X amount of energy. By the time that energy has been converted into cow meat, you've lost like 99% of it. So you've taken a ton of grass and you've made like 100 grams of beef. And then if a dog then eats that, then you're losing another ton of energy to get that dog meat. Mm-hmm. So the amount of energy, and also we like dogs, but also the amount of energy that is lost in getting that final meat-eating animal's meat is huge. So generally we just skip that animal and we eat the ones that just eat vegetables.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I do agree we don't eat their organs.
We don't eat the organs. Like, so the ones that we do eat, we don't eat their organs. And I believe it's to do with a high toxicity. Anyway. I think they've got very high chemical levels in their organs.
I think I did another podcast or a video about eating wolf. Like, why don't we eat wolf? That'd be interesting.
Not many wolves
apparently
left.
It tastes terrible.
Really?
Because they eat rotting flesh.
Oh.
And apparently then, like, I found some article about some guy who was super hungry or whatever, and he was like, the only thing I had to eat was wolf, and it tasted disgusting because it was rotting.
Did you hear about that guy that got arrested because he was stuck on a boat with that dude, and the guy died from eating bad fish, and he ate him, and then they arrested him going, you ate the guy. He was like, but he was dead, and I was floating in the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Dude, you've been through enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They arrested him.
Did he get in trouble?
I think he got arrested.
No, he got arrested. He went to prison.
I might be making that up, but I believe he did. I don't know.
Dude, we should cover cannibalism. We can do when I come back and watch this in the future, I'll look that up.
We'll make a note.
We can talk about it. Anything else about food chains?
No, that's it from the food chain.
Okay, let's move on. How are we doing for time?
We've got 10 minutes left.
Okay. Should we do one more?
Yeah.
I want to talk about giant novelty checks.
Okay.
Or I wrote this joke, but it doesn't work at all in the audio form. You know, Americans spell checks differently. Or I could say we spell checks differently to the Americans.
Okay. Well, they do CK, we do QUES.
Yeah.
Okay.
But spelling it QUES is a really weird way of spelling it. It's like check.
That's French.
Is it?
Yeah, French way.
Huh.
Un chic.
Oh, chic.
Un chic.
Chic. There you go. Open up that link right there. This is a great story. So these novelty checks, right? You know what I'm talking about, where it's like you win the Mega Powerball Turbo or whatever, and you get like a big ass check with $160 million printed on it. This guy, he won like $1 on a scratch card. And so he went to the lottery headquarters and he was like, I'd like a giant novelty check. And they were like, okay. And I was like, I feel like this is such a good company move. Like, because most would be, oh, go away, we don't do that. This is silly. But look at the amount of press they get, because this one guy comes in and they're like, sure, why not, mate? We'll do that for you. Mm-hmm. I thought this was really nice. Is there...
Well, it's a classic make your company look a bit silly. It's what Starbucks does. Starbucks deliberately will spell your name wrong. So they'll deliberately, if like you say, I'm Tim, they'll put Jim. So that if you'll get your thing and you'll go, haha, look, they got my name wrong again. Take a photo, share it on Instagram, free
oh my
free
God,
advertising.
I've done that so many times.
There you go.
Wow. That's true.
What do you get? Byman.
Dude, well, I get like Simon, SYMON, SYMAN.
Simon.
Yeah, dude, it's all over the show.
PSHOY.
I was thinking, and as we've discussed before, we live in Prague in the Czech Republic, and the Czech version of my name is Shimon. So sometimes I'll say that, and then they'll be confused because I have a terrible Czech accent, and they'll be like, what? And I'll be like, oh, Simon. And they'll be like,
You get
I'm still
semen written
I do. It'll happen. It'll happen. And then I'll take a picture of it and put it on Instagram. So I actually did a video a while back about giant checks. You know what's fun? You can absolutely cash them. Mm-hmm. You can go into a bank and be like, dude, I got this giant check for $1. And they'll be like, we can cash that. Because a check is just information. Mm-hmm. There's nothing special. Like I could write you a check right now. Maybe it wouldn't work. It's like 2020. But back when checks were actually a thing, I could write you a check like, pay Sam Myers to the order of £1, put my account number and details and sign it and give it to you. And you can go and cash that.
Really?
Yeah, you can write it on a napkin. From the video that I linked there, which we don't need to load up, is this basically as long as what... Oh no, this is from my video. Yeah. I even remember this. Basically, as long as whatever the check is printed on, giant or otherwise, contains everything necessary for it to be legally considered a check, the amount to be paid, the payer, the payee names, the account number, the name of the bank and where the payer has the account and what state the bank is in, the payer's signature and the date the check was written, it is still a valid check. So that's America specific. But yeah, essentially that would work, which is kind of cool.
It's very cool.
Like, I feel would be good information to know.
This is very topical because I just watched Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, great film.
It is a cracking film.
Where he strips the logo of the company off the planes.
Plane tails.
Love that.
And have you watched Frank Abagnale Jr. did a speech, I think, for Harvard?
Commencement address.
Fantastic
Yeah,
speech.
I feel like I've seen that.
Really great.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to sort of hear his side of it. He's like, oh, I just did it because I had to. And it was like, did you? Did you really?
Did you have to, Frank?
Did you?
I can see that it's...
But he was like 16 and he managed to fraud all the... Like, it was incredible. I mean, I could barely write my name when I was 16. Well, I could, but I was not a clever kid on that level.
We talked about in a previous episode about like jobs, like being a spy or being a bounty hunter, being a con man. Like, it's not a job. But like that, it's one of those things that movies make look exciting, but then I'm sure it's, pretty scary.
Well, it takes balls. I mean, if you ever have done anything that's like mildly against the rules, and you're like a normal person, you're like, oh, this is on the edge.
It's like I don't think I could commit crimes because I'd be afraid I'd just be too afraid of It's not like I've got a moral problem with crimes, even though I do. But it's like I'd just be too afraid of getting caught.
Get caught. Yeah. Being called out.
Yeah, and then you got to go to prison.
Yeah, it's like minor shoplifting. I remember when I was at school, there was like all the guys used to go into the shop and like one would make a noise over in the corner and the other one would steal chewing gum or something.
Yeah,
and I was just like, that is shocking, terrible. I don't know.
Morally bankrupt children.
I think I had a very strong moral compass when I was a kid, but. Where did it go?
What went wrong? Now I shoplift all the time.
I met one guy traveling. He said he shoplifted for a year and a half, never paid anything.
What?
And he stole an iron from Home Depot. He walked in and just went like, bang, iron under the shirt, walked out.
He just never paid for anything.
Never paid for anything.
That's incredible.
Nothing.
I don't want to say that's incredible, but wow, that's ballsy.
Tables in restaurants, like he'd eat there and he'd just leave.
What?
And like he said, literally, I've paid nothing for the last year and a half.
Wow.
And I was like, mate, you're going away for a long time when they get you.
But no, I don't think so. Because you get caught once. And I mean, good luck proving it's just you get caught for that one thing.
I suppose.
No one could go back and prove all the other shit you've done. Yeah. No one will because it's such minor things. It's just like a string of minor crimes.
Yeah, true.
I think you're just going to get caught one time, get a fine, or maybe community service or whatever you get for minor crimes. And that's it.
I remember once working in a bar, we poured out 13 real expensive Patron tequilas, and for these guys who thought they were like the bulls, realized how expensive it was and went, no, we're not paying that. They all got up and left. And basically once it's poured, you have to pour it out. You can't pour it back into the bottle.
Yeah.
And they didn't drink it, and it was like a James Bond moment. We all ran after the car, got the license plate, we called up the police and we're like, they've just run away, they haven't paid. And they went, well, did they drink it? I'm like, no. Well, sorry, we can't do anything.
To be honest, even if they drank it, I don't know. It's never going to go anywhere.
Well, it was like £250.
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Like track down the
car
license
with the license number?
I just don't think it's a serious enough crime for them to bother.
Oh, maybe not.
I don't know. My whole thing with this stuff is like everyone is the stuff you can get away with is insane. Everyone behaves themselves really well considering how often people get caught for shit, which is nice. I like it. Obey the law. I just want to say one more thing with checks. I know we're probably hitting the hour mark and we can wrap it up. I had a business and economics teacher at school, and this was one of my favorite stories around checks. He sent his daughter money for like university tuition and like room and board or whatever. And it turned out to be like the wrong amount. She needed like £400 more or something, or it was a big difference in the amount of money. And so he was like, okay, I'll send you up another check. And she's like, oh no, don't worry, I just changed it. And he's like, what? And she's like, yeah, I just crossed out the amount of money, I put in a new amount, and I just put your initials next to it, and I cashed it. And he's like, and it worked? And she's like, yeah, totally worked.
Wow.
Yeah, because you can initial a change on a check. And there you go. So, I mean, that's kind of bizarre, because if a check can be everything, I could just write myself a check, like learn your account number and sort code, sign it. Yeah, like Sam. Done.
Sam.
Check it. That's all, that's done.
Yeah. Wow. There you go.
Yeah. You want to do another aside or not?
I can do. I've just got a nice quick one to finish off.
Oh,
if you
okay.
like. This is. I just wanted to share with you that Pope Francis, before he was Pope Francis.
This is the current Pope, right?
Current Pope.
Is he the cool Pope? Everyone seems to like this dude, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a cool dude.
Cool.
Argentinian dude. He used to work as a bouncer in a Buenos Aires nightclub.
He seems very small. Is that I don't know. He seems like diminutive.
Well,
and humble.
I suppose he's hard as nails.
I guess so.
I mean, he is the current Pope, isn't he? The first. Yeah, that's the one. That's the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he looks taller than I had imagined.
And this just made me think that when you become famous, people don't think about your pre-fame job. And there's some interesting pre-fame jobs.
That's true.
Like, so Meghan Markle, Mexit. It's a big thing at the moment.
Oh, is that what they're calling it?
Mexit, yes.
Yeah.
So it's shined a light over Brexit. Everyone's forgotten Brexit.
What did she do?
She was a professional calligrapher before she became an actress.
Wow.
And then a princess.
That's cool.
And now not a princess.
I bet she can write cool royal letters now. Well, maybe not for much longer.
Well, it's. I think I read that she did the professional calligraphy for Robin Thicke's wedding. So
where's Robin Thicke?
Blurred lines. You know you want it.
Oh, he's the guy who did the twerking with.
Yeah, with the one at the awards. Yeah, with Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Brad Pitt wore a chicken costume for El Pollo Loco in LA.
What's El Pollo Loco?
It's a chicken restaurant.
Is that the restaurant from Breaking Bad?
Very likely.
No, that's Los Hermanos something. But it's like, I assume it's
basically he was the guy that wore the chicken suit. Was like, yeah, come get some chicken.
It's awesome.
Jennifer Aniston was a bicycle messenger, so she would take messages via bicycle.
There you go.
Who knew? Rod Stewart was a grave digger.
Okay, that's a good one.
That's a proper one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A grave digger.
All right.
Tom Cruise. I bet without looking. Can you bet what? Can you guess what Tom Cruise did?
I saw it, Sam.
All right, what was he?
Well, I saw one. He was a bellhop.
Okay, and
there was another one which I didn't see yet.
So Tom Cruise, before he got into running like that,
Sam chops his hands like karate chop running.
He was training to become a Catholic priest.
Wow, really? Now he's a Scientologist.
And it didn't work out for him. Well, he's not anymore.
He is, Sam. We looked this up before. You said he's not because his daughter was sick, and we looked it up, and he totally is still a Scientologist.
Oh, maybe I'm just stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Final one.
Stuck in the past. Stuck in his hopeful future.
Lemmy.
Who's Lemmy?
Lemmy from Motorhead.
Oh, yeah.
Was Jimi Hendrix's roadie.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
But that's cool.
But no one knew it. Yeah. No one knows. So
there
you go. Love it. That's me done. I don't know. You never think of people pre-fame.
My dude, I think that's us done.
I think that's us
And you know what's great now? Wrap this up. Let's get some food. Let's get a beer.
Oh, yeah.
This has been the Simon Whistler Show with my man, Sam Myers. Sam, where can people find you on the interwebs?
They can find me tweeting at Twitter at This Is Sam Myers.
I like that. I'm at Simon Whistler. If you've got suggestions for the show, places to send us, things that you think we might enjoy, do it on Twitter. Also, review this show, whether you listen to it as a podcast, as a YouTube channel. However, subscribe, leave a comment, like it, all of that good stuff. And we'll see you real soon.
Ciao, 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 ciao.